I hope you can edit this thing.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
One of my skills.
Yeah.
No, we're live. Didn't I tell you we're live?
Yeah, I was going to say, geez, real riveting responses here.
I've got 3 watching. You're listening to Beyond the Chutes as presented by Parasite Systems. Parasite Systems helping vets help pets. BTC was on the road again, this time in Sheridan, Wyoming, visiting King Saddlery King Ropes and the King Museum. We sat down with one of the 3rd generation of the Kings, Ryan King himself, while he was literally tooling belts between questions. This is a handcrafted conversation, Sheridan Style, rich with history and humor in the heart of a family business that's been shaping cowboy culture for nearly a century. You can find them on Main Street in Sheridan or online at kingropes.com. We hope that you enjoy. BTC is on the road again. We are in Sheridan, Wyoming. A very special trip. We landed in Billings last week and had an opportunity to come down to Sheridan. We saw King Saddlery, we saw King's Ropes, and we also saw King's Museum right downtown on Main Street in Sheridan. Had an opportunity to visit with a lot of folks. Danny Morales.
Yep, he's the rope guru.
He's a rope guru.
Yep.
And then we were able to go down into the basement where they make the ropes.
Oh, good.
Met Mike.
Yep.
And the voice you're hearing, this is Ryan King.
Yep.
And he's down here, and he is very busy. As a matter of fact, he is doing tooling and punching and all kinds of things on belts and everything. Because, Ryan, you are getting ready to go to the NFR.
That is correct. We're about 4 or 5 days away from having things loaded up in the trailer and hitting the road on Sunday. So, you know, we're either going fully stocked or not. So, got to keep moving. You know?
Keep moving. Well, just so you know, as I said, he's tooling, he's punching, he's doing everything. We got him mic'd up. And talk a little bit about the history. I know Don King, the founder. Tell us a little bit about your grandfather.
Yeah, so my grandfather, he was born in, was it 1923? It was right during the Depression, so he kind of grew up in that era. He grew up as a kind of a nomad, you know, following his dad around to different dude ranches and working from anywhere from Arizona up to British Columbia, out to California. And basically everywhere he went into saddle shops and started kind of picking up the trade of leather tooling. And he moved after the war. He moved back to Sheridan here in the 40s, and he basically broke colts for a living and did leather work and whatnot on the side. So he gained a lot of notoriety in his leather work, worked for several saddle shops around here, Rudy Mudra, Otto Ernst. They all worked together there for a little while. And then in the 50s, he got the bid to do all the champion saddles for the RCA back then. So for about 5 or 6 years, he made all the championship saddles for the RCA back in those days. So basically he got a lot of notoriety through that and was basically told he should open up his own shop. And in 1961, he opened up King Saddlery, and it was originally across the street behind a sporting goods store there. And I don't think it moved into this location until about 4 or 5 years later. The basement we're in right now is actually where we used to twist ropes and do all the leather work as well. So there was guys on top of guys down here.
Saddle makers.
Yeah, saddle maker. You know, he had my grandfather and Bill Gardner and a whole bunch of other guys working down here. And then in the early 70s, we built the back rope shop.
Okay.
And kind of moved the rope stuff over there. So, yeah, you know, then we've kind of been doing this ever since. We opened up that Bentley's building, which has got a lot of our dishware, giftware type of stuff. I think that was late 90s. The museum we opened up in 1990. And my brothers and I think we had the pleasure of washing about the first several hundred saddles that went into that place. But,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Barry and Donnie caught the brunt of that work, and I caught up the tail end of that stuff. So,
and one of the things I noticed as I walked around, and I want to talk about the Sheridan Style.
Sure.
Okay. But first, I want to make kind of an observation. As I walked around, met a lot of folks here. A young lady working in the up by the ropes.
Yep.
44 years here,
Yep.
working here.
Sure.
Mike down in the ropes, 30 years working here.
Yep.
You got some longtime associates here.
We have some longevity in our employees, and they're more like family nowadays than just employees. So that's just kind of I don't know what keeps them here, to be honest with you, but we sure appreciate all they've done for us over the years. It couldn't do this business without our employees.
Oh,
that we have.
absolutely.
Especially the long-term ones that. You get the ones that come and go, but those long-termers that have invested their lives here, it's pretty special.
Very special, very special. And you walk in, it's just a very family feel.
Sure.
As you walk in the store, retail store.
Yeah.
Of course, all the tack and the bits and then second story is boots.
Oh,
all
sure.
the boots up there.
Yeah, we got a little bit of everything. Our slogan, I guess, is cowboy equipment for the particular cowboy, so we kind of got to have a little bit of everything and a whole lot of other stuff too.
So to the saddle making, and we're standing where all this took place. Talk a little bit about the Sheridan Style that was designed, that was developed here.
So yeah, my grandfather basically back in the 50s, 60s, he had a few styles. He had like the Visalia style, the Porter style from Arizona, and the Sheridan style is kind of a mix of those two. What my grandfather and Bill Gardner, what they did was they basically shrunk down all those patterns, tightened everything up, and got it into more, if you look at silversmithing scroll work and stuff like that, you see a lot of that kind of in that Sheridan style, and that's it all just kind of molded over the years, and he kind of became the name behind it. So it's kind of wild to even think about that, but
yeah. And you spoke of the museum. My goodness, as I walked through, there's a saddle on. I mean, there's no open spaces for saddles all the way around the outside. And in the second room, as you walk in, beautiful Don King saddles, brand new look, beautiful.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about those saddles on display.
Yeah, those ones there. It's kind of interesting. You've got basically stuff from the 40s, from his very early work, up until the early 2000s, when he kind of was working on the last few saddles that he ever worked on. So it's just interesting. It's a good depiction of the Sheridan style itself. If you look at like that, one saddle in there is real dark. It's from the 40s. It's probably when he worked down at Porter's, I think, or after he worked there. But you could just see how big the flowers were. And then as you go further down the line, you can see how everything got shrunk up and more refined. And so it's really a catalog of history of the Sheridan style, almost right there in that one little row.
Yeah,
it's pretty neat to pick that out. So, and there's one saddle. The one on the very end is one that there's only a little bit of tooling that my grandpa had done on it. My uncle Bill had finished it out. And our saddle maker at the time, Link Weaver, he's the one that built that saddle.
Okay.
But it's one of the last three that he finished or started, basically, and we finished a couple of them. So, but
and not just his saddles on display. My goodness, all kinds of saddles.
Yeah, there's Hamleys, there's Visayas, there's Porters, there's all sorts of, Mudras, Ernsts. There's a lot from around here and a lot from all over the area. So there's, the Mexican saddles. There's all sorts of. There's a camel saddle in there. So
yeah, and a display of crops, riding crops.
Yeah. The all those quirts and crops and everything that. I got to give a lot of credit to my Aunt Jean and my grandfather for collecting all that stuff, and then my Aunt Jean for the eclectic style she had displaying it all, because that museum is really special the way it's set up, I think.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Yeah.
you go to a lot of museums and they're very sterile in a sense where you can't smell, can't touch,
no.
can't, you know, do anything. And this one, you know, shouldn't touch the saddles, but well, you can sure get right close to them.
Oh yeah.
And look and
Yeah.
whatever. So.
And beautiful pictures on the wall,
Yeah.
and can't help but notice a picture of Queen Elizabeth.
Right.
Talk a little bit about her visit.
Yeah, so 1984, she's got some family ties here, and she came to visit in 1984. It was kind of a big deal. I was only 5 at the time, so I wasn't quite queen material is what I was told, and didn't get a meter, but my brothers met her, and all my uncles and my dad and everybody, and grandfather gave her a tooled waste basket as a gift. So
Nice.
it was pretty neat. But
So what was that like? What have they talked about, the logistics of getting Queen Elizabeth to visit King Saddlery?
you know, logistic wise, I don't. It's interesting. Like I knew a little bit. Like the British Airways, I know they have a unit that they actually pull out of their regular planes and put in this like Queen pod inside their planes and stuff like that. But so logistic wise, I know it's a little bit tricky, and our runway was just barely long enough to accept the plane that she came in on.
Here in Sheridan?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but other than that, I think it was pretty easy. I think we had to hide all our knives around the shop.
I was going to say, Secret Service had to be all over it.
We had to tuck away a lot of weaponry and things like that. You know, our day-to-day objects we work with, but you know, other than that, it was pretty cordial.
Yeah.
So
you were 5 in '84.
Mm-hmm.
When did you start officially working for King Saddlery?
When I turned 14, so the day of my birthday, I had to go get a work permit, and went up that morning, got it, and I think I clocked in about 9:15 that morning, and I think my first job was shoveling out the trash in the dumpster. So
Minimum wage?
Oh yeah, four and a quarter back then. So
Started at the ground level.
yeah, if there was a below the ground level, I was in it. So yeah, that's how it is with family business. So
Yeah. So 3 generations, now 4 generations?
Yeah, I'm the 3rd generation, and then my son, and then my brothers have kids, and my cousins all have kids. So that'd be the 4th there coming up.
Yeah. And what a great layout. And just for our listeners, as you walk in, beautiful store, and it's pretty deep, pretty long. There's tack as you come in the left side. There's a wonderful counter right in the center, and ladies are there to give you a hand as you walk in, ask how things are going. You can go up to the 2nd story, all kinds of boots. I saw some Boulay boots up there.
Oh yeah.
Okay, they come out of St. Tite, Quebec.
Yep.
Okay. I was tickled to see those.
Good.
We've done a lot with Boulay over the years.
Yep.
So perfect to see that. And then down here in the basement of that first building, is this the saddle shop, leatherworking shop?
This is a leatherworking shop. Our saddle side of it's more in the back where the ropes are and stuff.
Okay.
Okay. It's where we do a lot of the repairs and stuff. We haven't made any saddles since Link Weaver retired from us. It's probably been about 8 years now.
Okay.
He was busy. He builds bucking machines also, and so he was working here and then having to go home and build bucking machines for another 8 hours a day, so he was burning the candle at both ends, and just kind of the bucking machine kind of overtook the leather work for him. So.
Yeah. Are you in between saddle makers? Is that a fair thing?
Yeah.
So you're looking?
It's kind of a hard spot to fill for us. You know, it'd take the right person, and we wouldn't. They probably wouldn't be building saddles right away for us. You know, they'd have to work here for a little bit before we let anybody do that. So we don't
start at the tooling, belts, and
wallets
and that sort of thing.
got to cut your teeth on the rest of it, and then we'll, you know, got one kid back there that I'd like to see him make a saddle. He's repaired enough now that, you know, I think he's got the gist of how they go together, and he's done a lot of built basically a saddle without building them, you know, by repairing them. Okay. So he's ready enough, you know. You just got to take the giant step, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
But
so one day we may see more
yeah,
King Saddles
you'll
come.
definitely see some, and I'll build one or a couple or whatever eventually. But I've started to, and then I got sidetracked, and then just never came to fruition. So.
Sure. And I know you guys are busy. When I talked to Mike down in Ropes,
Yep.
he talked about taking about 4,000 ropes with you guys to Vegas, to the
Yeah,
NFR.
probably. It's got to be at least that many, if not more. Yeah, it's a lot of calf ropes, a lot of ranch ropes. Not so many team ropes, but we still sell quite a few of those.
Okay.
So
And so it started with the saddlery, right?
Mm-hmm.
It started with saddles. When did it go into retail?
I mean,
Immediately?
almost simultaneously with the saddle side of things. My grandpa's idea was to, back in those days, like if you wanted a rodeo rope, you had to go to the hardware store and buy a length of rope and stretch it and treat it yourself, tie all the knots and do all that. So my grandfather wanted just competition ropes on the ready on a rack. A guy could just walk in, grab it, and go at an affordable price. So good quality, affordable, and that's kind of how it started, and that's kind of how we've kept it. So, I mean, the prices have gone up, obviously. But,
Yeah.
we still try to keep it within reason, and, we're not over anybody, and I don't think we're under too many either. So
Yeah.
But
Well, and as I told you earlier, we sponsor a young lady by the name of Aubrey Wolf out of Hudson,
Okay.
Iowa. She's a
Yeah.
breakaway roper, 14 years old.
Yeah.
Okay, going down the road hard.
Good.
She's headed to Vegas to the big breakaway events
good.
there.
Good.
And then they end up in Arizona on the way back with everything being shuffled.
Sure.
Right, with
Sure.
with the health concerns out there, and the
Yeah,
horses.
yeah, geez.
She's rattling a lot of cages right now.
It sure is. I worry about it. I mean, obviously for the stock side of things, but as a vendor out there, I got to worry about like foot traffic of people and stuff like that, and that's certainly going to affect some of that. I mean, I'm already expecting it to be down a little bit, but hopefully within not too much. I'm sure they'll take a few percentage points off, but there was just a lot of people where they were coming out to rope that probably aren't going to be taking horses out anymore, that may have canceled their whole trip, or maybe they're just coming without horses.
You bet.
So
Are you seeing a lot of ropers stock up with you while they're out there, place their
Oh,
orders and get everything going?
absolutely, yeah. That's one of the main things we're out there for, is to, be seen for one, and then just have those people that don't like to call in and they like to feel their rope. We like to stock them up, and it's Christmas season, so a lot of people are buying ropes for gifts and things like that. So.
And it's not just competition ropes. You've got
Right.
working ropes, ranch
yep.
ropes.
Yep, beyond the breakaway and calf rope and whatnot side of things, our working ropes, our ranch ropes, are what we're really also known for, is one of our bread and butter items. Kinda.
Okay. And I was talking to Aubrey, and she said nylon, poly, and grass.
Mm-hmm.
Did I miss anything?
No, pretty much the main three.
Okay.
Or blends of those, and
So you have blends.
Yeah, nylon poly blends and
Really?
stuff like
Okay.
that. So
Okay.
yeah, there's one competition breakaway. It's a 5-strand. It's a blend of poly and nylon, but mostly poly. And then a lot of the competition breakaway stuff and calf ropes, it's all poly except for the poly grass, which is a sisal rope with a poly core to it. So it's that's one of our other main ropes that we sell, is it's a top of the line competition calf rope, and they're expensive, so
Yeah.
not a lot of people are buying them besides the guys really cranking on them.
You bet. You bet. And she was talking about, she wants a grass rope.
Yep.
She was talking about some folks she's roping with that
Sure.
swear by them. You got to
Yep.
put them on the hood of your truck to warm them up.
Yeah, you gotta cool them down, heat them up, keep them in a can until you're ready to use them, kind of thing. And if they don't feel right when you pull them out, you put them right back in, and hopefully you got another can full of ropes or something.
Really?
But,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
It's,
And I asked her, why grass? Why? What's the feel?
The loop feel, it's a little raggier than some. It feels like a broke-in rope to me, which I like. But the grass there's no stretch to it whatsoever. I mean, you're stopping those calves. It's got nothing to it basically, and that's why those guys are using it. It's because it's got good jerk down power and all that stuff. Where the poly, it doesn't really stretch either, but it's got a little more give than the poly grass would.
Okay.
So.
And how have these ropes evolved? I know nylon, poly, but to the breaking power, the shock power, or whatever.
The evolution of them, it used to be everything was 3-strand. Now they've got 4 strands and 5 strands. The core, the lead core to the rope has changed on certain ones. So they've done a few different things, and we've had to adapt our style of, how we process them to all that. But, other than the 3, 4, 5 strand, and then there's some new materials that come out that we'll try, and some work, and some guys love them, some guys hate it. So we try a few coils, and if we keep selling them, we'll keep making them. But
yeah.
You never know what somebody's going to come up with, some gimmick or something like that, and it's all the new rave for a little while, and then it peters out.
Okay. And the other thing I noticed was most ropes, I guess, have always traditionally been a right-hand twist.
Right. Yeah.
You guys developed.
Yeah, my grandfather started doing left-handed twist back way when they started. So, I mean, it was, there's a few guys that are lefties out there, some healers and some calf ropers and stuff like that, and breakaway too. So
makes that much of a difference.
Yeah,
I'm not a roper, so I'm learning.
Yep. No, it obviously makes a difference. You'll have to. I mean, you start throwing a left-handed rope right-handed, and you figure 8 all the time and do all that stuff. So, the way the lay of the rope is makes a huge difference on what hand you're swinging it with.
You bet. So, what does the NFR mean to the King family, to King Ropes?
There's a lot of tradition for one that kind of lies in there. The whole tradition of rodeo itself, it's kind of the epicenter of a year's worth of blood and, just grit for a lot of these guys. And it's kind of the same for us. We kind of come in there, had a busy summer and stuff, and you really grind up for the show, and you get there, and it's kind of like all or nothing every year. So, and for us, it's a necessity we go there.
Yeah.
Because that January, February, March, we're pretty dead up here in the winter.
Yeah.
As far as the phone ringing and rope orders coming in and stuff. So that bit you make out there really helps you float you through the starving months of winter.
You bet. It's definitely Cowboy Christmas for King
Ropes. It really is. So. Absolutely.
Any great NFR stories? I don't know, last minute rush orders or gearing up for it, or tough travel stories, or a call from the warm-up pen, I need a rope.
Yeah, well, there's certainly been a lot of guys that will have to pick up some ropes last minute out there at the finals, or what was last year or two. I think there was a few calf ropers that were having hell, and some guy had to change his strings and do all sorts of stuff to try and get back into it. But I kind of worked for him, but I think he was up here in his head a little bit on that week.
It makes a big difference, doesn't it? The right feel and the right mental aspect of it. Yeah. When we were down, Mike was building tie strings.
Oh, sure.
Right? That's what he called them for,
pig and strings.
Pig and string and goat tying and that sort of thing. And we were able to just walk down in through there, Ryan. That's okay?
Yeah. You can, as long as the rope machine's working, you don't step in the middle of it and get twisted up with the rope. You're good to go down there and check it out and all that stuff. So. Yeah.
And he talked about not just building the ropes, but the preparation through stretching and drying and all the right weather. And you've got a big field that you set them up in.
Yeah, we have a property about 3.5 miles outside of town it's where we have stretched our ropes from the get-go. It's at my grandfather's, where they built their house originally, and so we have Oh, it's a 600-yard field, and we have about 280 slots that we put a 600-foot length of rope in, and we weight it down. We pull it down with a tractor, and basically let the sun and the elements heat up the rope, and take a lot of the waviness out of it, take any kinks, anything that's like that, and really straighten the rope out. This is where a lot of rope companies don't do things like that, where they will stretch a rope. They'll twist it up and coil it up, and there it is. So,
Yeah.
but that's what kind of gives ours a little more longevity, I think, and keeps the way we take our time tying our burners, Hondus, to keep our Hondus straight, a lot longer than some other rope companies. And just those little details and stuff like that really go a long ways, I guess, at the end product.
And I got to imagine that stretching, when you talked about the grass rope, there's no stretch. When you make a catch, it stops.
Yep.
Got to come from that whole process?
Yeah, we don't, the grass ropes, we don't actually twist down here. That stuff gets spun up in Portugal.
Yeah.
But yeah, the ropes we do twist down here, it's pretty interesting how it is. Comes from the strand, and there's a little heat generated in the process. So as they twist, they kind of, keep their shape and don't unravel on you or anything like that. So that's a whole science that we've figured out over the years.
Trial and error?
Yeah, a lot of trial and error. So you bet.
When you walk through the saddle shop here, or you walk through the retail shop, the store, the museum, where do you feel your grandpa the most?
Back digging through the trash can looking for scrap leather that we threw away that we probably shouldn't have, and yelling at us. So he was always a fixture in the saddle shop. I see him sitting in those barber chairs that we have back there, drinking coffee and just bullshitting with the best of them. But yeah, where I used to get it is I'd be working back there and I'd be on the clicker or something and throwing away scraps, and he'd come back there and chew my ass because I threw some stuff I could have used. There's that Depression era mentality.
Make a keychain or something out of it.
Exactly. So,
Sure.
But yeah, he's definitely living large in the rope shop still, rope and saddle shop. So.
Yeah. And if he were to walk through the business today, what would make him smile?
The fact the lights are still on, probably. No, just that we're still keeping up the quality, I think, and trying to represent what he really wanted to develop.
Yeah.
I think it's neat that I'm, I guess, third generation still working here.
Yeah.
And hopefully my kid wants to keep doing it too and all that stuff. But the fact that we're still kicking and still creating and still making good products.
Yeah.
So.
And what were the values? I know you talked about being conservative and saving everything and being thoughtful that way, frugal that way.
Sure.
But what were the values that Don put into it all?
The values mainly were, very cowboy code type of values. I mean, just treat others as you want to be treated kind of thing, and then just be a good human being and do good business with people and don't screw people over.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I mean, that's just kind of what we have always tried to do, is just be good business people and whatever,
Good people, it sounds like. And that's,
Give back to the community that gives so much to you. It's kind of, give and take, and do a lot more giving than taking.
I like that. I like that. Huge operation between saddles and ropes and retail and the museum. How are the roles of the family divided up? Who runs what?
My dad kind of oversees everything, and my mom kind of is his right hand person, I guess, basically, and she kind of oversees the shipping and receiving, or the receiving side of things, and then I'm kind of just overseeing, some of the leather stuff and whatever goes out, on that end of things, and then I do a lot of the stuff for the shows and stuff we go to. So basically it's split up between the three of us, and then my Uncle Bill, the museum's kind of a separate entity to the store, and so he oversees that and kind of takes care of that stuff. So
Still collecting, still taking donations?
Yeah, still collecting, still taking donations. It's a little more few and far between now. We're looking for certain things that, maybe we don't already have a couple of different varieties of in there, or, saddles would have to be pretty cool to get in there anymore, or something extraordinary about those saddles. And that's kind of how my grandfather, collected a bunch of those. He'd go to auctions and he'd buy a pile of them, and there'd be one he was really wanting, but he ended up with 6. And
yeah.
But he ended up with some good ones, and there's some that were just pure junk. So
if I'm going to go to the museum, what's the one piece that probably stops people in their tracks?
That saddle, right as you walk in, that Mother Hubbard saddle that he tooled, that's probably one of the best pieces he's ever done. I think it is probably the best piece he's ever done. And it's kind of, funny. It was like the last complete saddle he ever made. So,
what year would that have been, Ryan?
It was mid 90s, mid to late 90s. I think he built that for the Western Heritage Museum, I believe. And then I think we ended up buying it back from him.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But yeah, that one. I mean, as you walk in, you can't deny it. It's just right there in your face, and so it does kind of stop you right as you get in there. But then you start looking around, and I don't know, the big wagons. There's the hearse that's in there. That always stops people when they realize what it is.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. I always stop by all the Indian stuff. All the war clubs and peace pipes and the headdresses and the beading, all that stuff. The moccasins. I'm fascinated with that stuff. So
yeah. And the pictures.
Yeah, God.
Now, would be your great uncle Bruce?
Bruce is my dad.
Okay, let me think.
My uncle
the
John.
bronc rider.
My uncle John.
Bronc rider.
Yeah, he was. He was 2-time all around high school, all around.
He's got the buckle up there.
70 and 71, and he was the only one to do it until I think about 2012. A kid did it. Finally, did it back to back. I think, and finally tied the record or whatever. But it held for, 40 some years there. So, but yeah, he was a hell of a bronc rider and a bull rider, and he only had about 10% of his hearing, so he was mostly deaf.
Really?
And could never hear the whistle and stuff, so he just kind of held on
They
a little
come
extra.
And got him.
Yep. They kind of wave at him or do whatever. But yeah, he was a special guy, and I sure do miss him. So he was one of our saddle makers here at the shop for a long time.
And he was probably your most directly rodeo involved person?
Yeah, I mean, you got my Uncle Bob and my Uncle Bill. They both team rope and stuff like that. So my dad used to, but he had a kind of a horse die on him tragically, and so he just kind of quit after that.
Okay.
He just kind of gutted him a little bit, but
yeah,
and then it happens.
So in the museum, what's one of the strangest items that somebody's donated or dropped off to you?
Oh, that two-headed calf's right up there, which is pretty cool. There's the Pancake Girl sign. It's like it's a dimensional thing, so you got to walk by it. But it's a pancake ad, and then there's a naked gal on the other side of it when you look at it.
Okay.
So. And then I don't know. There's weird stuff. There's a book that nobody's really seen in there. That's a lot of Al Stolman carvings, and it's all dirty stuff. But he was quite the character. And I think that's why him and my grandfather got along. So they were good friends. So, but yeah, there's a lot of different items in there. But
So if you could sit down with one of the cowboys or craftsmen whose gear is in that museum, who would it be? And what would you ask him? What might the conversation be about?
oh wow, that's a good question. Gonna make me think for a minute here. You know, I don't know. You know, I'd sure like to sit down with my grandfather again for a while. Just after, you know, I didn't ever got to, you know, speak with him about a lot of stuff, and you know that still kind of bugs me. But you know, that's definitely one guy. As far as other makers, you know, I would have liked to talk to old Otto Ernst and Rudy Mudra and those guys, because you know they would have had some good stories to tell from my grandfather working there in those days, and just you know how they came about things. And you know, there were so many local good saddle makers around here that it's hard to get away from this area. But yeah, I don't know. It'd be one of those guys probably, other than my grandfather.
What would you ask him?
You know, I don't know. If they thought, I'd probably ask them if they thought the saddle industry would be where it is nowadays, and from where it used to be. I mean, it used to be, there's multiple saddle shops in town, and if it concerned them, if there's a lot less, you know, something like that. But I think the industry's still strong. It's just not as many people rodeoing anymore.
Yeah.
So.
And has the craftsmanship kind of dried up a bit on the saddle making, become more commercial?
There's a lot of the commercial side of it that I think dried up a lot of the craftsman side of things, but there are a lot of craftsmen that are doing great work. You know, you got your Don Gonzalez. He's a great saddle maker. Wolfgang Fay. You know, there's a lot of great makers all over the world right now, and we're kind of almost just finding a few of them right now. Just the internet, you know, is the last 15, 20 years has really brought in a lot of these craftsmen from around the world that you never would have met before.
Yeah.
So, and going to, you know, these leather shows that a lot of us go to, or I go to anyways. My brother's the one that makes all the stamping tools and stuff like that. So.
What do you mean makes them?
All these tools right here that I use for all my leather work, that's his business. So.
He designs them.
Yep.
Really?
Yep. And he sells them all over the world.
So they're available. How would they get a hold of those tools?
BarryKingTools.com.
Okay.
So
Okay.
if you're a leather worker, you damn sure know.
You better
Barry
know
King,
about
yeah.
Barry King. Okay.
Yep. You probably have a few in your pile. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that was something my grandfather did, jumping around, I guess, was he was also a tool maker, because, you know, he did all the leather work, and you just didn't have the tools you needed to do the work sometimes, so you made them yourself. And my brother was tooling in high school, and that he asked my grandfather to make him some tools, and he didn't want to make them for him, so he showed him how to make a swivel knife, make a maul. And so my brother basically started a business out of that in high school.
Oh, wow.
So he's been doing it for 35 years now.
Serious?
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
And that's one of my other jobs, kind of, is I go to some leather shows with him and help sell his tools.
Help
and things
sell
like
tools.
That. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So.
What's the hot thing besides ropes you're taking to the NFR this year that you think is going to be the deal, leather-wise or whatever?
You know, we always sell a lot of caps. You know, that's always a big staple. Leather-wise, probably the wallets I'm stamping out right now.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
Yep.
they're those always. I can never stop making those things. So, but other than that, I don't know. I never know what's going to sell from one year to the next. It's hit and miss, and so I just try to bring a little bit of everything. So.
Yeah. You get custom orders?
Yeah, I take a few.
Which one wakes you up when you go, I get to do this today?
The big projects, the projects that kind of challenge me, not the day-to-day BS that I get bored with.
Right.
I like the ones that actually challenge my skill level a little bit. So
What
oddball stuff.
Yeah, what give us an example of what that
you
might
know,
be.
somebody might order like a custom backgammon board or something like that, or you know, I don't know. It just depends on.
So you design, you do everything.
Yeah.
Right? Not
Yeah.
just tooling. You're designing and
Yep.
finishing it all
Yeah,
up.
and I do pottery and stuff too, and so I use all my stamping tools on that,
Oh my goodness.
and yeah, so I don't know. I'm taking a bunch of that stuff out there with me.
Oh, you
too.
are? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So hopefully this
beautiful
sells
pieces.
too.
Beautiful pieces. And all the
Thanks.
ring neck pheasant tail feathers.
Yeah. There's I figured that kind of keep it. I don't have to bother with flowers around there or anything like that.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
yeah.
And when you're not tooling, when you're not making saddles, involved in the business, what does Ryan do?
I like to, like I say, I like to throw some pottery, and then, I go out and I shoot a lot of guns.
Do you hunt the pheasant?
Yeah, I haven't done any this year, but I will when I get back from here, or from Vegas. So then I do a lot of stuff with veterans also. That's another one of my things I really like to do. We have a Warrior Foundation here in town, and I'm now the president on the board, I guess.
Oh wow, nice.
But yeah, the Wild West Warrior Foundation is our little deal, and we have an event every year on Labor Day weekend. We tie it in with like Don King days and stuff like that. But we bring about 40 guys in, guys, gals, first responders, Gold Star families, and we take them out to Eaton's Ranch, which is the oldest dude ranch in the country, and we do some horseback riding out there. Then across the road at the Little Wolf Ranch, we fly around in helicopters. We shoot guns out of there. We have machine guns, just a whole bunch of different activities like that.
Okay.
We just kind of give them a wild couple days there, and then we go to Don King days and watch the steer tripping and the match bronc riding and the polo.
That's in September?
That's Labor Day weekend every year.
Okay.
Or Memorial Day week, or Labor Day.
Labor
sorry,
Day.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're headed towards
Yeah,
Thanksgiving,
yeah,
just to
yeah.
kind of give you a
gotta-
basis. Yeah.
But so that's every year, and it's kind of the year end for the steer rope, the steer roping, and they do a match bronc riding, and then one of the leagues in the polo out there, that's their kind of year end tournament.
Nice.
So
Nice. Excellent.
yeah, since got a lot of polo out here, so
And you talk about community, and you talk about involvement in community. How important is Sheridan itself to the King Ropes identity?
we wouldn't probably be here in town if it wasn't for the people in this town. So I mean, it helps that we're right in the middle of Main Street and stuff, and kind of a pillar in the community.
Centerpiece.
Yeah. So it location is kind of key to being here, and but yeah, the people that are part of this community that come and shop here, they send their friends here when they visit.
Yeah.
We wouldn't be here without the rest of the town.
Could this business exist anywhere other than Sheridan?
Maybe like Wickenburg, Arizona is about the only other place, the team roping capital of the world right now. So, but that, we've had a lot of people say, you guys should open up a satellite place down there or something like that. And it's just, that'd be too much,
Be too much.
Yeah.
Okay. But they order from you online? How do they find you?
Yeah, kingropes.com or kingsaddlery.com, one of the two. But yeah, or just call our 800 number, 800-443-8919. It's always been our go-to, is kind of still human on the other end of the line. So,
So we talked about Queen Elizabeth rolling in, which is amazing.
Yeah.
I saw pictures of her by the bits and everything.
Sure.
So what other famous folks, cowboys or rodeo athletes or whatever, might just surprise you on a given day?
Yeah, rodeo athletes, you never know. I mean, geez, we've had just about everybody through here, especially during the wild rodeo. You get most of the guys, especially the ropers and stuff through here. but I don't know, we've had quite a few famous people, I guess. Well, you're gonna make me think here. I know we get a lot of orders from some guys. The Queen's daughter's been here.
Oh, wow.
He's Rob Taylor, who's Longmire, the sheriff guy. He comes in here about every year.
Oh, wow.
So
okay.
him and I usually have a few beers together whenever he pops into town. So, but I don't know. There's a lot of famous people that I just don't get all blown away, I guess, by it. Try not to get starstruck or anything like that. But
well, that's
Billy
pretty cool.
Gibbons from ZZ Top's been through
Really?
here. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
What'd Billy buy?
He just was walking through. He was going to play in Sturgis, I think.
Okay.
So he was.
Okay.
But I did get to talk to him for a little while. Tommy Lee Jones is usually here. He usually stays out here in the summer and plays polo and stuff like that.
Oh,
so,
okay.
So he's kind of a regular from time to time.
Gets busy in the summer. Rodeo crowd rolls in.
Yep, tourism and rodeo and stuff. So you got guys popping in all through the summer, just going from A to B to Z to wherever. So always has, what do they say, on to the next one, right?
Yeah.
Dale Brisby.
On to the next one.
Yeah.
So some quick questions for you.
Uh-huh.
Whatever pops in your mind. Favorite rope you ever made?
Probably, I mean, it'd have to be the polygrass, I think, just because it's such it's labor-intensive, pain in the ass rope to make, you know?
Yeah.
So it's
A lot of art?
there's a bit of art to it, the art of singeing, I guess, and things like that. But
Yeah.
you know, I probably take more pride in the stuff we spend more time on.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
especially the ranch ropes. You know, the way we age them out and things like that. It's kind of like a fine wine curing process. So with a lot of that stuff, so you kind of take a little more pride in those type of deals.
You
for
bet.
ropes.
Favorite saddle tool?
Saddle tool. Well, I mean, probably a basket stamp or something like that. If you want to go favorites, a push beveler.
Push beveler.
Yeah.
Okay.
Speed your day up. So.
Okay. Okay.
So there you go.
Worst rope mistake a rookie can make?
Losing your thumb. Dallying your thumb off.
Your ropes don't have safeguards around that?
No, not unless you tie off, I guess. But even then, you can get caught up in one. But yeah,
That's a good response.
Yeah, I had the keep your thumbs up. Where is it? I had that sticker made just because my Uncle Bob had a nub on his.
Did he? Lost the thumb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he could still hold a beer. So.
Okay. Okay. What's one thing you wish everybody knew about ropes?
How much that goes into the process of getting them right.
Yeah.
And when it really kind of makes me twitch a little when somebody grabs one off the rack and just starts crushing them and really cranking on them and bending the hondoos and stuff like that, because stuff like that, it's if you don't buy it and the next guy goes to it and it's all tweaked up now, then I have a hard time selling it. So that kind of stuff I guess gets to me.
Yeah.
Mishandling a rope.
Mishandling a rope.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that. A quote or bit of advice that your dad gave you that you still live by today?
Jeez. He's just the fact that he's always let us know that that he's always there for us if we need him.
Yeah.
No matter how tough stuff gets.
Yeah.
Just to know that he's got your back, things like that. That kind of hits you good.
Yeah.
In the feels.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
He like I say, he was always good about letting us do whatever we wanted with our lives and kind of let us know that coming back here was okay and it's not a failure kind of thing. If you got to come back here and work, it's but he let us do whatever we wanted. So I mean, I chose to come back here, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
And you were able to get out and about and
Yeah,
go
yeah.
go see the world for a bit and
Yeah.
see other things.
yeah, sure did.
And it drew you back.
Yep. I thought about this place pretty much the whole time I was gone. So, but
Yeah.
you know, I guess something in the water around here. So
Yeah. Let's say Hollywood hears this podcast, and they do all the time, right? They hear our podcast, want to make a movie about King Saddlery, King Rope.
sure.
2 questions. What are we going to call it? What are they going to call it?
Family Feud or something like that. No, you know, what would they call it? I don't know. The Leather Kings or something. Who knows?
Yeah.
You know,
Comedy? Drama?
a whole lot of comedy.
Love story?
There's love, hates. You know, it's got everything. I guarantee you that. So definitely a comedy though.
No drama.
Oh, there'd be a lot of drama.
What the
Oh yeah, yeah. Be plenty of that.
Well,
so.
you're getting ready to go to the NFR, dude.
Yeah.
I'm using up a lot of your time
No,
while you
that's
should
right.
be building things.
That's right.
And I didn't want to skip over this. You talked about dude ranches, and you talked about during the community when they have that festival. Your father met his wife.
My grandfather met my
I'm
grandmother.
sorry, your grandfather.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep, my grandmother was a dude on that ranch. She was kind of born with a bit of a silver spoon in her mouth, and so they used to come out on vacation every year and stay the whole summer out at the dude ranch. And my grandfather was one of the wranglers that worked there one summer, and
Yeah.
I think his pickup line to her was something along the lines of, "Looks like your horse is struggling," or something like that, and you know, commenting about her weight or something like that, and I think they kind of hit it off after that. So
She was from Massachusetts, I understood.
yeah, I believe so. Well, Fargo, North Dakota.
Oh, okay.
She went to school out there.
Oh,
Though.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that was the connection.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
but yeah, she grew up in Fargo. So, but you know, that dude ranch, you know, in our family has a lot of connections. You know, I think all my uncles and my dad and everybody, they all worked out there. You know, I went to school with the daughter that's running it right now. So, I mean, we're pretty good friends, and so we've got a lot of ties to that place.
So, influences on your grandfather, on Don, things he took away maybe from the Dude Ranch?
You know, just, boy, I don't know if that guy, you know, he had such a hard work ethic. I don't think he slept but about 2 hours a night, you know, the way he worked stuff. So, you know, I don't know if I doubt he learned that there, but he sure lived his life like that. So,
And when you think of saddle making, when I think of saddle making, it's not just sitting down and tooling.
Right.
It's the design. It's
Yeah.
laying it out. It's everything to perfection. When we look at these saddles and the Sheridan Style and how tight and how balanced from one side of the saddle horn to the other,
sure.
the perfection.
Yeah.
So, I mean, just the planning of it all must be quite laborious.
Yeah. Like I said, I've never really built a saddle, but I know what goes into it, and it's making sure you have all your hardware and all that stuff in line before you get to cutting on your hides. But
Different
Yeah.
seat sizes?
yeah, and then, you know, of course, you know, a tree might be a little out of alignment or something like that, and you got those fun problems to deal with. And
Yeah.
you know, your leather, you had to take apart from a certain spot because of a defect in the hide that screwed your whole thing up. And you know, so you can really I don't know, get too involved almost on these things. But yeah, it takes a lot to go from start to finish on a saddle. So
And a lot of these championship saddles still out there from the RCA days.
yes, yep.
That is very
Yeah,
cool.
we have a few in the museum. So yep.
And back to the movie, Ryan. I don't want to go by this. So they're shooting this wonderful movie. You're going to go to Hollywood and shoot it.
Yeah.
Who plays you?
Oh, you know, I don't know. Someone a little chubby would have said like Jonah Hill if he would have been, but he got all skinny now.
Okay.
So. Yeah, I don't know who would play me. I'd have to play myself. I've already been in a movie.
You're
once,
already
so,
famous.
Yeah.
What movie were you in?
I was in Wild Horses with Kenny Rogers.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, what was your role?
I played his son in the movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I had one line and like 3 scenes in the movie. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
And what'd you think of that?
It was cool. I was 5 at the time, but for a 5-year-old, and I think I made, $6 or $8 grand off of that because there was no labor laws for children at the time. So I was doing like 18-hour days as a 5-year-old on this movie set. But they filmed it locally here in town, and
How'd they find you?
I had to go audition for it.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
ad in the paper?
Yeah, I think there was an ad, and there was a whole bunch of people, and the director, Dick and Hunt Lowry were the director producer guys, and I was sitting on the one guy's lap, and he asked me if I had a horse, and I said, "Oh, I had a horse." We had to put him down. He was a bag of bones, and the guy lost it and said, "You got it. You got the part." So
Where'd you get the line?
I just came
In the
out of
moment?
me. Yep.
In the moment.
Yep.
Perfect.
So
I think you'd have to play yourself then.
I think I would.
You do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still got it in me.
Yeah,
Somewhere,
yeah, I think so. I think so. So you're headed to the NFR. You're on. My understanding is you're in the convention center,
The upstairs at the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation show.
and you've got a huge display up there, 60 feet long.
Yeah, 70 by 10. So yeah, 700 square footer. But
And setup time, what are you talking?
well, it takes us about 3 days to get set up, and then takes us about 3 hours to tear it all down and load it up in a trailer. But it's that setup is everything's got to be just right.
Yeah, retail look and retail feel and all that sort of thing.
Yep.
And what makes a perfect NFR? Selling everything?
Yeah, coming back with a light trailer and not having to deal with weather on the roads.
You get a lot of orders out there, as well as retail?
We take quite a few. As far as rope orders, we'll take quite a few if we don't have what they already need out there. I'm trying not to take leather orders right now, but I will cave every once in a while. I've got a pretty good wait list right now, and it just eats me up to have people call me all the time.
Bit of a backlog,
Yeah.
but that's good for business
It's
to
good.
have a backlog.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good problem to have.
Yeah.
But I just, the problem is the people getting impatient with me, which I can understand.
Yeah.
So,
What's on the horizon for King Saddlery and King's Ropes? What's the innovations you're working on, or what's the next thing you got your eyes on?
We're trying to get with the program here of as far as everything. We've handwritten tickets in the past, and we've never barcoded anything, and
Okay.
that's something we've been working on for about the last 8 months now.
Okay.
And you've seen what's in the store. It's thousands upon thousands of items, so it'll take a little while, but we're trying to figure it out. So it's just taking some time.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
But once that's set up, that's our biggest thing, is trying to be able to track our inventory a little bit more with that type of system. So
You bet.
I mean, other than that, I don't really want to get too far into changing anything other than fixing some lights and stuff down here.
Right.
Things like that. But.
Right. So you've done a lot of interviews over the years. You're a famous movie star, as it turns out. What's the one question nobody's ever asked you in an interview that you just wish they would?
Oh, geez. I try not to think about all that stuff too much, just because I never know what's going to get asked anyways. I don't know.
What question haven't I asked today?
Just you've kind of covered a lot of bases. I don't know. Geez, I hope you can edit this thing.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
One of my skills.
Yeah.
No, we're live. Didn't I tell you we're live?
Yeah. I was gonna say, geez, real riveting responses here.
I've got 3 watching.
Yeah. I don't know, as far as questions to be asked or whatever.
Okay.
What
about this?
Yeah, try something else with me.
Bit of advice you want to leave for next generation of kings? What's your advice? This will be out.
Oh, you're good.
This will be out in the world forever.
Take this business day by day and make the most out of every single day you get out of it. You know, as far as you never know what's going to happen during the day or anything like that, or the week for that matter. So just take everything in stride and do the best you can with it.
Yeah.
Because this world's changing so fast right now. I mean, the AI and all that stuff, I don't know how it's going to affect brick and mortar buildings and, you know, their businesses and things like that. So right now it's just a day-to-day roll with it, adapt, and try to come out on top.
Good advice.
Yeah.
Great advice. Great life advice.
Yeah.
This has been a hoot, dude.
Good.
I
Yeah.
appreciate. I know I've interrupted your work. You got
Oh,
all
that's
kinds
fine.
of stuff on the bench.
Yeah, it's.
I made a mess of all your
Oh,
pens and paper.
Bro, I did that
pencils.
about 2 weeks ago, so don't worry about it. It's a bad spot for me to keep that thing, but yeah, this is kind of a mess down here, but this is the chaos I live in, you know,
Yeah.
with getting ready for shows like this. So.
Well, I appreciate your time. Our
Yeah.
listeners, I think, are going to find this very interesting.
Well, I hope so. I hope I don't.
I
put
believe you're
everybody
the
to sleep.
first. I know you are the first saddle maker, rope maker for sure that we've interviewed on the show.
Okay.
And
Good.
boy, there's a lot of ropers out there, a lot of cowboys and
Yeah.
cowgirls out there.
Yeah, God bless them, because you know it's not an easy lifestyle to be a part of. So.
You bet. You bet. Well, I appreciate the time and everything.
Yep.
I need to go place some orders for the rope.
You bet.
I got 3 ropes I got to pick up
Cool.
while I'm here. Who do I go see?
Go talk to Danny
Okay.
or Josh or Mike, one of those
Okay.
3, and they'll sort you out.
Ryan, I appreciate it.
You bet. Thank you.
Take care.
Awesome to do it.
Our thanks to Ryan King and the whole King family for letting us step into the shop and into their story. It's a rare thing to see this much craft and history still under one roof. If you're in Vegas during the NFR, stop by their booth and say hello. Until then, keep your thumbs out of the dally, travel safe, and we'll see you down the road. You've been listening to Beyond the Chutes as presented by Parasite System, helping vets help pets. Before we wrap up, we've got something for all you rodeo road warriors out there. A good friend of ours, Mr. Stan Cromlish, has just a thing to make those long hauls a little smoother.
Hey, Rodeo Road Warriors! Stan Cromlish here from the Wandering Gypsy RV Life Podcast. Ever had a trip go sideways, faster than a bronc out of the chute? Grab my book, Rolling Smooth, How to Enjoy the RV Life Without Losing Your Cool. Packed with real RV stories, hard-won lessons, and a few laughs at my expense. Listen on Audible. Snag a copy at WanderingGypsyRVLife.com and catch the Wandering Gypsy RV Life podcast for more wild tales from the road. Don't just ride, roll smooth.
Today's episode is also brought to you by Simcox & Company. 4 barbers, 4 generations strong, Deb, Tom, Eli, and Troy, keep the tradition alive. No appointment needed, just walk in, share some good conversation, and leave looking sharp. It's also brought to you by Nikki McLeod, whose albums Prepaid and Some Kind of Reckless are available now wherever you find your music. And I've been reading Steve Gander's new book, World's Toughest Rodeo, where an Iowa farm boy takes his Midwestern life lessons to rodeo. It's a fast-moving, page-turning ride through the grit and glory of the arena. It's out now on Amazon. And don't forget Liesl Harris's This Ain't My First Rodeo. Available now on Amazon. The story of the legend told the way only Liesl could tell it. This has been a BTC production. Until next time, thank you for listening.
Come